episode is called the Inbred Thanksgiving Recap because I'm gonna do just that, and I'm gonna run you through my Thanksgiving. Should be a good time. Before we get started, I do want to apologize for not making a show prior to Thanksgiving, as I was spending the holidays at my granny's, and she's lucky to have running water and electricity, much else have a computer for me to do the show. So without further ado, I am sorry, and without further ado, let's start the show. So, my Thanksgiving started off on a bad note as my girlfriend broke up with me. Yeah, on Thanksgiving. That's a bummer there, folks. And that started as I was sitting at a table with my sister and my girlfriend, and we were watching the boys deep fry the Thanksgiving turkey there in the deep fryer, and they were drinking and hooting and hollering and having a good old time, not paying us no never mind, which freed us up to be able to have a nice little make-out session, and I liked that. That was nice. But it was short-lived, as my uncle and oldest brother came over and sat down beside us, interrupting it, right? And then the three of us just sat there and looked at each other all awkward like for a while. Well, needless to say, I was getting kind of TO'd. And then I kind of think I figured out what he was doing, because I knew he was kind of mad at me, because prior to that, the day before at Hack-a-Turkey, and for those of y'all who know about Hack-a-Turkey, that's an inbred family tradition where all of us boys get meat cleavers and go out in the granny's backyard and try to hunt us down one of her turkeys, and the first to kill the turkey gets to keep the head. And I got 4 of them heads already back there in the closet, and as soon as the 5th one gets back from the taxidermist, I'm gonna be one happy inbred, I'll tell you that. I'm gonna polish up, be real nice. But anyway, let's get started. Let's keep going. So we were back there at Hack-a-Turkey trying to get us a turkey, and me and my uncle slash oldest brother swung at the exact same turkey at the exact same time, and I clipped his finger and I cut it clean off. He pitched a big old hissy fit about it, and I don't know why, because every year someone ends up missing a toe or a finger or an eyeball. Not that big a deal. But he makes a big deal about it, which makes me start thinking. And then I kind of figured it out. I think I know what's going on, because my cousin just dumped him because she caught him with the foreign exchange student with the one eyebrow that old Fred keeps locked up in the barn. Caught him cheating on her with her and dumped him, and now I got the looker in the family, and he's plumb jealous, and he's trying to break it all up. So I figured I was on to him thinking I'm okay, I'm outsmart him. So we're sitting there at the table, and I look over my sister slash girlfriend, right, and I say, hey baby, why don't you go help granny out in the kitchen with the turnip greens and the yams and taters and things. And then her head just spun around, and she said, what? I'm tired of you thinking us girls belong in the kitchen, and we're always slaving away in the kitchen over a hot stove and whatnot, while y'all boys are watching football or tying bottle rockets to cows' tails and whatnot, having a good old time. It ain't fair. And I looked at her and I said, well, look here, woman. Alright, you want to trade roles with us? And I pointed over at my uncle slash brother-in-law's pinky and said, you want to do that? I can guarantee you all 8 of your working fingers you got right now won't be working or attached very longer. Of course, she did lose 2 due to frostbite on that camping expedition we took that one year, but that's a story for another time. So anyway, she gets mad, and she doesn't hear the notorious redneck call, which is, hey y'all, check this out. which, for those of you that don't know or aren't familiar with the redneck call, y'all obviously haven't spent a lot of time at redneck social functions where there's a lot of drinking involved, because that particular call is designed to alert other rednecks that something really stupid is about to happen. So I hear it, my uncle slash brother hears it, we look over, see our family members, drinking beer, looking up, staring up at a tree, like, and we look up at the tree and I see Cousin Leroy's youngest junior up in the tree and know something stupid's about to happen. But the problem with that is that she is supposed to be taking care of Junior while Uncle Leroy is away diddling the maid. He's one of them uppity types, and he's got, someone comes in, cleans his house and whatnot. So while he's diddling the maid, she's supposed to be taking care of him. She's too busy yelling at me, not doing her job. Junior's up in the tree, right? So at that time, she can't stop him, obviously, because she's busy, and he does a backflip out the tree, falls and breaks his leg. So she gets mad at me. Uncle Leroy comes back and yells at her, and she takes it out on me, tries to blame me. And I said, look here, I snap and say, look here, woman. You weren't busy, too daggum busy watching them liberals yip-yapping on TV, filling your head full of nonsense, and you were doing your job and not complaining about it, okay? None of this would have happened. That's the moral of the story. Don't be mad at me, okay? So, needless to say, with all them liberal nonsense floating around in her head, her melon there, she decides to break up with me that I'm a male chauvinist or whatnot. And, so that's that. But unfortunately, that wasn't even the end of my Thanksgiving Day, because this decides that, hey, I'm probably going to be going to the hospital soon and I want some turkey, so let me speed up the process by spraying gasoline on the damn turkey while it's still in the deep fryer and lighting it. Now, needless to say, that damn turkey went up like Hiroshima and caught little Lily Mae's hair on fire in the process. So yeah, I spent the rest of the day at the hospital. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, every daggum year something bad happens. What in the world do I got to be thankful for here on Thanksgiving? And it was at that time that I looked over and saw this little old lady sitting there by herself, right, all lonely like. And I looked over at my family, packed in the waiting room like sardines, and I had an epiphany, or whatever you want to call it, right? I realized what Thanksgiving was all about, suddenly in that instant. Because I don't know if you're like me thinking, what do I got to be thankful for? Sometimes it's hard to see, people. But what it's about is the fact that, yeah, maybe your family's crazy. Maybe every year there's a big mess, but it's your mess, and you're fortunate enough to have people there to help you clean it up. And that's what Thanksgiving's all about. Your loved ones. Not everybody's got that. I'm the Big Red Inbred. I'm signing off, saying be good to each other and always keep it in the family.